bad. Back for season 3 of the Blazermania podcast. Let's go.
I feel like somebody tried that last year and it was not allowed. I feel vaguely familiar that was the case.
I'm sorry that you don't share the same enthusiasm that I do about the glory of the Portland Trailblazers, winners of 4 straight for the first time since 1999. I
think we can maybe tie it in throughout the show. Maybe like we don't,
I don't think we can. I think that this is very important that we talk about it now, because all the millions of fans love the Portland Trailblazers.
I think that's not correct. I think it's a small market team actually. That
no. This is now the big market team. Everyone loves them. Yes. They beat the Lakers in the most hilarious way possible. You can't hate on that.
No, but the Lakers are bad. So I appreciate your vigor. Like it's an early first week. I hit the cue perfectly. So like I'm happy too. But I feel there could be some more space.
You hit the cue perfectly, like Shaden Sharp on a backdoor cut. It was great. Well done.
I mean, yeah. So thank you everybody for joining in. My esteemed colleague here clearly having a good time, Mr. Nat Levy. Chris, we've clearly moved to Delaware, as you can see with the league. How are you feeling about the league so far? 1 week in, Nats, you feeling good? You like the changes? Took our talents to Wilmington. We got a PO box. We incorporated. How are you feeling about that?
By the Court of Chancery.
Yes.
I love it. I mean, it's a great league. It's full of great Portland Trailblazer players on the 4-0 team for the first time since
No, we're done. So Nat, we're putting Nat into the Jailblazer penalty box, sponsored by Talkspace, for at least 30 seconds. And so thank you everybody for coming in, the millions of fans. We're back to our hijinks this year. We're gonna have the Roto coming up as always, and it's gonna be good. We're gonna talk a little bit about the draft this week, our who we think are good and bad, set up maybe some themes for the rest of the season, and I think it'll be a good show. So let's just check in on Nat here, see if he's calmed down a bit. Nat, how you doing?
Inferno.
Nope. Clearly still working on that. So I'm gonna keep moving on here. So as the millions of fans know, we got a nice setup in this league. We get a bit of a wacky league. We like to preface some big man stats and do some wackiness. And so we got some different stuff going on. So I need to move my toolbar since it's in the way because Nat's got me distracted here. So first week on the Roto, we'll give Nat another try here. We'll see if he's calmed down. How you doing, Nat?
All right, I get it.
You're gonna behave.
I'll try.
You're okay.
I'll do my best.
We're on 3 strikes rule, so just so you know, you're on 2.
3 strikes and then what? What are you gonna do?
Don't test me.
Yeah. What do you got, commish?
Chancellor. Respectfully.
Yes. Chancellor. You're missing like a fancy wig or something.
Oh.
Yeah. There's definitely a missed opportunity there.
We'll work on that.
And maybe like a judge robe. Like we should in court. We've got higher production value. We need costumes also.
It is that time of year. I can go get a costume on the cheap. We'll work on that. Yes, you can
dress as the Chancellor for Halloween. Everyone will get it.
Yes. That will happen. We'll make that happen. I have access to crafty folks who can make this happen as well. So for those who have not seen my lovely Roto sheet, we've got it all set up. First week, less interesting necessarily in the Roto, better for trends, but already I like it because the distribution. We got good folks all around. We don't have anybody taken away.
Other than the fact where I'm dead last by a mile.
You had a rough week there.
I had a horrible week.
Would you like to explain, as I pull up your team,
You don't have to pull up my team. It's fine.
I'm gonna pull up the team.
They are bad at everything. I don't know. Everyone's already hurt, so that's a great start. Herb Jones is hurt. Miles Turner is hurt. I already dropped 3 bigs that I drafted because they all turned out to be 10-minute players, even though they were all 30-minute players last year and for much of their careers. I am starting all kinds of randoms now. I have gone full union, full sanitation union already 1 week into the season.
Yeah, I feel like Terry Eason is definitely the journeyman.
No, he's the new hire that everyone is really excited about, but it's gonna take a little bit of time to learn on the job. Like he's gonna get some training, maybe do some certifications.
I see.
And then he'll be good to go. DFS doesn't shoot, so I have multiple guys. He does not, and he isn't really getting a lot of stocks either. I got, Collins and Halliburton are both bona fide studs. They're both crushing.
Should we talk about this particular individual? A bold move this was.
I'm actually not super worried about him. Like, even with how terrible this is, like, I'll take 10 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 blocks any day of the week. I'll take a 5 and 5. Like, those things help. The thing that is not helping is that I don't really have, like, I kind of whiffed on a couple of people that I was banking on for kind of alpha scorers to surround him with, and they haven't been that. And so you got to put, just like in real life, you kind of have to put the right players around him for it to make sense. And I don't think I really did that. So we'll see. I'm not worried about him. I think he's going to do better as the season goes on. I think Brooklyn would be helped if they had a real coach, not to, because it kind of seems like one of those, like, the guys are running the team instead of the team running them.
Yeah, I mean, they also hate each other, and like their star player tried to run the coach out. So, like, I mean,
also Kyrie is already calling Simmons out in public as if, like, dude, like, pay attention.
Yeah, read the room.
This is how this started to begin with, was unnecessarily calling him out in public. Like, Kyrie can't call anybody out in public.
Yeah, that's true. I'm looking.
How about you? How's your team? How you feeling?
I lost the first week, but the signs are there for the strategy. I maxed the OREBs. I maxed the steals. I actually was last in blocks with Gobert and Pirtle, which is, like, not obviously going to continue.
Well, those are bad defensive teams. Like,
yeah. It'll come back over time. And then I also, which will not continue, was almost last in field goal percentage, and then, like, scored no points because my team shot so bad. So, like, that'll turn around. So I think my foundation of the draft is held, and those other things will turn around. I did lose my first round, but I'm happy. I think I made some good pickups to rectify. I took some injury flyers during the draft with Time Lord and Lonzo, and then, like, my roster fill-ups were bad. So I picked up, like, Norm Powell, who was bad. And then I also dropped somebody. Oh, Harrison Barnes. Clear. Those two guys looked good. And then I watched both of their teams play, and they are clearly not going to make it through the season as starting players.
There's a lot of that. Yeah, there's a lot of people who kind of feel like they're hungover to start the season. Like, Embiid is like that. Jokic is like that. And then a lot of, like,
Jokic with 2 triple doubles already, though.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
He just looks like really. I've watched 2 of their games, and he just looks super disinterested. Like,
yeah, Jokic is not far off of his normal pace.
I might be blinded by his 999 from last night.
Yeah, he's at 80-40-40 for 3 games, basically, or 4 games. So he's doing okay.
20, 10, and 10. Yeah. That's fine. Never mind.
Doing okay.
I recant that statement.
Embiid, though, that's a good shout.
That team doesn't look good.
They have no bench. They got a poop bench, terrible poop bench.
Doc is not a good coach, right?
Doc is a terrible coach.
They do all sorts of stuff where it's like, this is stuff that any normally well-coached basketball team would clean up.
Yes.
Like the way they set screens and like the way Harden and Embiid play off each other, where like they pass to each other, but they're standing really close to each other. Like all these weird, like kind of basic basketball things that they just don't do very well.
And it's kind of like, to me, it's kind of like the Celtics from 4 or 5 years ago when it was,
or even like the beginning of last year when they were really rough.
Yeah, the where they had like the times down the court, everybody like, this is Harden's time and this is Embiid's time, and then we're gonna give the ball to Maxey and he's gonna do some crazy cool thing, and then we're not gonna give him the ball for like 6 more possessions. Mm-hmm. It has that vibe. They're not playing together at all, and they have no bench. They get murdered off the bench when everybody rotates in, and yeah,
which is weird because they have good players. Like, you know, they're decent people on their bench. They just, I don't know, whatever.
I also can't believe Harris is still on that team. That
$40 million stand in the corner guy.
Yeah, like,
yep.
I mean, cut the paycheck, I guess. You gotta do what you gotta do.
CTC, is the great Rasheed Wallace once said.
What?
Cut the check.
Cut the check. Literally what it is.
Or was that Randy Moss? I don't even remember. I think it was Wallace, but
Randy Moss. Remembering some guys.
Oh, press conference legend right there. But I believe that was Rasheed. Anyway, someone will correct me on Twitter.
It also, like, I think there's also a lot of young guns up and coming this season. There's gonna be, like, we talked, I remember last season we started talking about changing of the guard. I think this season's gonna happen.
It's definitely arriving.
Yeah. So you got guys like not stars, but those mid-rotation type of guys like a Harrison Barnes, who are going to get their lunch eaten this season by like the new people on all of these teams that are like the mid-tier
of the world and guys like that. It's not even, like you say, it's not even just like the Doncic's and like those new young stars. There's the last like 3 draft classes have had a ton of depth.
Yeah, like rotational player depth. Like,
yeah,
like I think that's what was interesting last season, like in the garbage time, which we'll hit up at the end again.
Always an important topic.
Always important topic, especially in the year of Victor. The quality was there. Like there were guys putting up big numbers with the minutes. Like there's a lot of depth. Yeah. So I think it's gonna be good. I think we're gonna have a good season. We're up to 12 teams. Exciting.
A lot of competition.
It's gonna be sharks all over the waiver wire for
a lot of the teams look good. Like I like a lot of the teams other than my own.
You might have the worst team.
And you know what's funny is, like, afterwards we both were like, "Oh, you got a pretty good team." And it was like, "Yeah, I think so." Nope. That's why they play the games.
We said you had a risky team that could be good, and
yeah.
It turned out to be ungood very quickly.
We're only 1 weekend though. Things could change.
It's true. So on that note, so I think it was a good even draft though. Like there were no bomb outs. Even
except for me.
Well, yeah. Even Bathroom at Paris Chase, who was auto drafting, like he got all guards, but you know,
and Kevin Durant.
So his team is not bad. He's just gotta, win every category that he can win, because he can only win 6 every week.
Well, he's doing the work to reform the team. Like he's making moves. So
that's true. We did have a first week trade.
Yeah.
Most hilarious trade of all time. Chris Paul for Kyrie Irving, week 0.
Yes.
But yeah, I think it was even
history has shown Durant and Kyrie don't work together. So I think that was Chase's logic. He's like, well, I got to break that up. I see how this looks.
That's true. Yeah, that is a funny auto draft. I didn't even think about that, like obvious, like 1-2 pick combination. Mm-hmm. So who tell me who do you like the most? So you already hate your team the most.
Yep.
Who do you like the most?
I think we talked about 2. There's actually like 3 or 4 that I really like, but the top 2 I'll say is I like Mikey's team, Rings of Paolo. He of course has Jokic and Paolo, who is crushing. Have you seen all of these like stat things about him where it's like the only other guys to do X that he has done are like Kareem and LeBron, or like or like Kobe and X, and it's just like, oh my god, he's already in like the company of legends.
I submit to you that this discussion occurred at Summer League, where the chancellor and the court were present. That Paolo passed the eye test very strongly.
Oh yeah, it was obvious from like 5 minutes in. Like,
yeah, he was the best player on the court of any game.
He was the best player
League.
We saw all weekend.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah. Because because Shaedon Sharpe got hurt 5 minutes in.
Oh,
hey, that was relevant. That was relevant. Don't mute me. That was relevant.
It's close. It's borderline.
It's relevant.
I'm watching you. I'm watching you.
So I also liked the fake it till you make it. Is that Sean Aaron?
That is Sean. Fake it till you make it is Sean.
I like fake it till you make it a lot. Giannis was kind of my hoped for first round pick. He obviously didn't get there. He's got a lot of Nat guys. He's got Mobley. He's got Drew. He's got Anthony Simons, the Inferno. It's gonna happen.
You're towing the line. I see what you're doing here. You're linking things together. You're on thin ice. You're on thin ice over there. So I'm gonna jump in just to calm you down. I thought he did a good job of protecting the Devin Booker second pick, which we have learned in the past. The high shot shooting guards often not good in our league, but
he was much better last year in the ranking. He shot a better percentage, turned it over less, and had more assists.
Yes, he still wasn't a second round quality guy, but I agree with that. But then like going Mobley, Bane, Drew,
love those picks.
Capella, those are all good. So I liked how he rounded out.
Trey Jones is a pick I like a lot. San Antonio is one of those tank teams where somebody has to do something, and he's as good a bet as anybody to do so. I haven't been following them, so I don't know what his stats have been the first few games. Can you click on him? Trey Jones, round 9.
If I click this, it's going to take me to the wrong place.
14 3 and 4. That's pretty good.
I mean, the Spurs are winning basketball games, which is a problem.
Well, they do have the greatest coach alive. That helps.
Oh, you forget about the impact of that. I mean, he's putting up numbers for sure.
Perfectly cromulent stats.
I do like that team. I think they'll be good. Who else you got? You got another one?
I think I mentioned Mikey's team. I like that he got Duran at the very end for the Pistons, who is already like just a monster already. And of course, second round pick Damian Lillard, back in full form for the 4-0 Portland Trail Blazers. Had back-to-back 40-point games in his first 2 games, including.
No. All right, you're done. You're done. I know what's happening. I'm just gonna have to cut you off. I was gonna pick Aaron's team. So the dominator of me week 1 hit on a lot of his mid-round picks. Jonas Valanciunas is a big pick. Ja is going absolutely bananas. Jaylen Brown, the 5th round, is sort of a steal. And I think DeJounte looks like he's working out pretty well with Trey. So I think they're gonna be good. I really like Aaron.
All right, that's it. I'm opening up this beer. I'm tired of getting muted. Open it up like the Blazers opened up a can of whoop ass on the Nuggets last night. You were late on it.
I messed it up. I forgot to share it. I'm sorry.
All right. Well,
if you just let it lie, it would have been fine. Because
That's okay. We're working on it. We have a bigger budget this year, and we'll learn as we go.
It was close.
Can't win them all.
I was just finishing out. I really like Wes Unseld. Even Aaron Gordon is like a monster right now on Denver.
I don't want to get muted, so I won't say his name, but the guy who you just put your cursor over is looking pretty good too.
Yes, he shall not be named. But I see what you're doing there. Also, Christian, I mostly mentioned, I don't know if you heard, 5th round Jaylen Brown, probably a steal.
That's the round he goes in every year.
Yeah, it's probably, we'll see.
Yep.
Although I do have to give lamentations for,
Yay.
for the Westbrook pick.
It just got like really warm in here. I don't know.
For those who don't troll Twitter, it was the first time in 5 years that somebody took a shot with 18 or like, what was it, like 18 or more seconds on the shot clock with 30 seconds left to go in the game.
Wall ahead. One
of the worst plays I've ever seen on a basketball court. And I believe, this is a hot take, I believe he's throwing basketball games. I literally believe this. Not even like, haha, funny, hot take. I believe he is throwing games on purpose to get out of there. Like, I think he hates being there. I think he wants to get bought out and like
that would
retire.
be the greatest story ever. I don't think he will retire, but he definitely seems very unhappy there. And I mean, like, we can spend hours talking about how that was like the dumbest move anyone has ever made, when they could have just traded half of what they traded for him for Buddy Hield and won like 10 more championships.
Yeah, it's really all they needed. It's so sad.
And then it wouldn't have cost as much, and then they could have kept Caruso. Anyway, they're dumb, and
yes,
we're all better for it. So please, Los Angeles Lakers, continue to be dumb.
Yes, strong agree. So those are our good. I think what are definitely good teams.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention our defending champ, Gator Loki. Needs a new name. That reference is a little dated now. Didn't love the Harden pick, but he clearly is back. He looks very much like himself again and is in shape, engaged. Just seems like everyone else isn't, which. Maybe it's just not that fun to play with him. So when he's engaged, everyone else is like, oh God, so bored. But when he's not, it's like, oh, I can do stuff. But I love Sabonis. Sabonis is a guy I target every year. I was going to take Zion in round 4, and he took him before I did. Giddey, also one of my favorites. I feel like he was just trolling me the whole draft. The Nurkic pick, as much as the Blazer homerdom in me,
bad pick
is
bad
strong.
Pick.
It's not necessarily a bad pick because he can be really good. Like, he has like 18, 12, 7, and 2 blocks upside. If he's healthy, if he's engaged, and if he's in shape.
Yeah.
All 3 of those things need to happen. And in each game he's looked a little bit better. But he just kind of drifts in and out. So like it's just hard to rely on him.
And Biggs taken after Nurkic, including Wendell Carter Jr., Pirtle, Capella, as a reach across some of those other guys, I think, in my humble opinion. The one thing that will lead us into our next topic, though, that I think our defending champion will suffer from is shutdown syndrome. Lot of risky guys on that team. This team is not built for the playoffs, as he coined some seasons ago. Sabonis, who knows where he's going to end up?
No, he'll never be shut down. That team is going to go for every win they can.
Are they going to go for it? I mean, but like, what if?
Yes.
All right,
100%.
Fine. All right, that's wrong.
Giddey is the shutdown candidate, and Lauri Markkanen.
I feel like the Knicks could end up being really bad, and then like 40 games in, just like give up. I think
he'd be more likely that they trade him than they give up.
That's probably true.
And then if they hadn't paid Brunson, I could have totally seen a swap for him and Westbrook. Yes.
Markkanen definitely is interesting. I wonder if he gets traded, because I actually really wanted him because
he's got to get traded. They're playing too well. They need to trade some guys because they're playing too well.
I really, because my strategy, my draft strategy is definitely backloaded. I took some high level injury picks, and I really was targeting Markkanen in that round, actually, to give me some early season calories. And so I was very disappointed. Joe was basically
calories.
You gotta have calories. So on the topic, we brought this to the fore last year. It's going to be a major contributing factor this year. the Sanitation Workers United will be out in force. The picket
Please
lines will be.
explain the backstory of that
Yes.
for our new listeners.
For the new fans, new league. We're going to see a large quantity of teams this year visiting Tank City. Really doing a job at the end of the year to feebly submit themselves on the altar of one Victor Wembanyama,
I believe.
Wembanyama for the rights of the lottery draft. And so we're going to see a lot of garbage time out there. We're going to see a lot of garbage games. A lot of folks coming out of the G League and other assorted places at the back half of the season. The garbage men of sorts will come out. And so we've unionized them into the Sanitation Workers United. And I feel like the picket lines are going to be staffed very strongly this season. At the end, a lot of teams looking for what may be generational talents in the draft. So
it's too heavy too. Like Scoot Henderson, the possible number 2 pick, also looks really good. So
yes,
it's not just. I mean, like Victor is 1,000 miles ahead of anybody. It is maybe the greatest prospect in the history of basketball. But like since maybe Kareem or Magic or LeBron, but Scoot's he's no slouch either. So
yeah,
there's incentive even if you don't get the number 1.
Just for a moment, no human has moved like Wembanyama. Like
no, dude, he moves like a point guard. I mean, Durant has moved like him. He's like a 5 inches taller Durant.
Yeah,
that's
like,
insane.
It's
because Durant is like 7 feet tall on his own, and Victor is half a foot taller than him.
Like LeBron came out and like obviously he was crazy, but he was in like the range of understanding of humans somewhere.
Not at that time.
No, I feel like Garnett was like had set some standard there, and he was like obviously better, but still.
Garnett was a big though. Like Garnett was 6'11", wiry, like skinny bigs who are really good had come before. There was no 6'9", 250-pound like NFL tight ends with the ball handling skill and ability that he had.
Fair. All right.
He was the first unicorn.
First unicorn.
The OU, the original unicorn.
Oh, the OU. All right. So then Beck, give me a couple just teams to be on the alert. If I've drafted somebody from these teams, who do I need to pay attention to? Start watching the waiver wires maybe early on. If I've got some draft picks from these teams.
I think there's 2 categories. I think there's the tanking teams full of young guys who are shutdown threats, which is bad. And then there's the tanking team with vets who they might trade to a contender, which could be good. So I think the tanking teams with the young guys are obviously the Houstons, the OKCs of the world. And I think the tanking teams that might trade people, Indiana kind of headlines that bunch. I think Miles Turner is probably not going to be on that team by the trade deadline. A lot of people think he could be a Laker or a Warrior, maybe.
Oh God,
San Antonio and Utah also. San Antonio and Utah also might be sellers. So like you could see, if you have Keldon Johnson or Pirtle, you might be on another. Keldon Johnson's probably staying. He's young and good, but like Pirtle is one who could go. Utah, other than Sexton, who I think they want to keep Clarkson. I think Clarkson and Sexton are the 2 non-really young guys that they really like and want to keep. I think everyone else, like, I think Markkanen is out the door at some point. I don't even know who else they have, but
that's what I mean. The trade teams are interesting because like I don't know where Markkanen goes. Like that's an interesting person who's like gonna be on the block for sure. I think
it probably hurts his fantasy status. I think what ends up happening to him is he goes and becomes like a microwave bench guy for a good team, as opposed to Utah, where he's like a 1-2 option.
Definitely that. I think Pirtle's sort of similar, but there's definitely contenders that need bigs.
Toronto. He could go back to Toronto.
Their starting lineup though is super interesting.
It's just Van Vliet and 4-6-9 guys. I love it.
And so like they're doing pretty well. I don't know if they're gonna change it. But
they're gonna have to play Embiid in the playoffs at some point.
That's actually a really good move. I hadn't thought about
which
that.
they did, and they got waxed. So like
I'd be really sad.
Or
I'd be really,
Giannis.
oh yeah, I'd be really sad if they did that because I already overdrafted the Raptors, and so I'd have 4.
I mean, there are worse teams to stack.
That's probably true.
They're all good players, and they're a fun team, and they all get theirs.
Who else you said it? I think the real wild card is Turner. If he does go to the Warriors, that team is just
Game
unfair,
over.
and B, he is gonna be a monster on that team. Like they haven't had like a real.
They have
center
so
in
much
forever.
young guy ammunition too, like that they could throw out there.
Yeah, that's a scary proposition. How much money are they spending? What is their salary?
Their salary's at like 400 million. They're paying like 250 or 300 million in luxury tax. Like, as much as it's like, God, I hate that team so much. Like, I respect the owner. Like, I respect that they are like, I'm winning, I'm spending. Like, we got this TV money and this tech money. We're gonna use it and we're gonna win. Like,
yeah, what else you guys spending on?
So you want every owner to do, don't you? If that's your team, you want your owner to open up those pocketbooks and go pay your 6 man $140 million for taking a punch. Some punch money.
Punch money.
Little punch tax.
All right. We hit our main topics. I'm gonna give you a few minutes.
Of
Blazers corner.
Would you like to discuss the Inferno?
Yeah, please extol the virtues of the Inferno. Now you did a good job. You went a whole series of segments without breaking in. Yeah. So I'll give you an outlet now to express.
Well, I'd like this to be a discussion, not just a monologue. It's really hard to understand what's happening. Like, I've watched this team for 20 something years, and for like 15 of those years, I don't think I saw them ever play any defense. They played defense when Wesley Matthews was on the team, and they haven't done it since. And I feel like
the Chief played some defense. I saw some games where he tried.
He tried, but that's one guy. And that's one guy who is now out of the league, I'm pretty sure, and was never relevant again after he was on that team. But everyone's playing defense, and they're connected, and they're doing like actual NBA basketball defense things like rotations and, jumping screens, and the guards are going over the screens so that they don't have to put Nurk out on point guards. And
except Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Question: why is Shaedon Sharpe not playing more minutes? Because he looks so
many guys. They have so many guys. They have a too many guys problem. Like, they have legit 11 guys deep right now. And
never in the history of your fandom has that
happened. I don't even think they've ever been 7 guys deep in the history of my at least adult life. Like, again, going back to the even the Aldridge, Matthews, Batum teams, their death was the bench. They had a horrible bench. It was like Mo Williams and nobody else. So it's like Jailblazer era back to when they had really good bench players. So and I think giving Sharpe 20 minutes at a time, 15, 20 minutes is a good way to ramp him up. I'm surprised they gave him minutes right away to begin with because he's so raw supposedly, but he's really not. He's very polished. That was what was really shocking.
As I believe we said, watching one of those games, defensively, he is
he just gets it.
Good. He knows exactly where to go, and he was moving well. Stuff that's not always a rookie's either knowing stuff or not. And many recent rookies, not the defensive ones, have been very bad.
He struggles a little bit in the off ball, but he is very good on ball. Yeah. He has great lateral movement and is able to stay in front of people and doesn't go for fakes and stuff. He swiped LeBron in the Lakers game and then ran down and dunked it. Can you imagine being him or any other player of his age? And it's it's LeBron, I will steal it from you. And your second game, no matter who,
love it.
No matter who you are, that's got to be a highlight, right?
All right, you got one more take.
One more take. Let's see. I was not digging Simons for the first few games. I feel like he's shooting too much and not passing enough. And I think that was still true. Obviously, he got like, volcanically hot, as we know. Literally hit 6 threes in a row on 6 straight possessions. Like, that does not happen. And
as evidenced by the truly disturbing photo in your background. Nightmares.
Yep. Nobody will sleep tonight. But I think he's learning how to play as he basically played as a bench chucker for a while. And then he had to play as a stand around the corner while Melo bench chucked. And now he's like, oh, I have to be a starter on a good team with meaningful minutes and like play defense and know when to pass and when to shoot, when to drive. Like there's definitely the physical and abilities are there. Like he's got all that it takes, but he's still learning where he fits in among this new team, probably more than anybody else. Cause like Josh Hart, you could just plug him in anywhere and he'll do Josh Hart things and it'll be very entertaining. Jeremy Grant, same deal. Like he is who he is. He knows who he is. He's been doing this for a while and he knows how to play. Simons is the only one who hasn't really had this kind of experience. So it's fun to be as good as they are this early and still be like, well, here's like 8 things they need to do better.
I feel like that was a very poignant take from somebody, from a dad. That was a good dad take. Like,
yes, dad take. The kids are figuring it out. It's like they learned how to walk.
Perfect. I think that's good week 1.
Yep.
We had to put you in timeout, but you have redeemed yourself. Calm down. Had some good takes. And I think it's gonna be a good season. I think we're gonna have a lot of good games. It's gonna be nice and even. I think it's gonna be good.
Except for me. I'm really in trouble. I got work to do. We're gonna have to go over a garbage man recruitment strategy one of these weeks.
Yes.
So, I'll need your help.